Join us in the fight to restore liberty and American exceptionalism. Together, let's make the case that our charters of freedom are worth defending and honoring. Right here is where the great American experiment comes alive. Let's get to work. The time has come for Americans who believe that government at all levels is too large to select their weapon of choice. If it is checkers, we will lose. If it's full-blown Jui-Jitsu, we stand a chance. But we must first understand what this tactic looks like. There's an ongoing debate in political circles about where conservatives should focus their efforts. One camp argues that there is no hope for the federal government. It's simply too big, bloated, and bastardized. It's too out of touch with the people, and nothing can repair its rogue habits. As a result, we should focus on government at the state level, where the power of the sovereign that indeed created the federal government can assert its authority. Then there are those who argue that the state governments are toothless. While they are in theory closer to the people, they don't stand a chance to fix the real problems America is being dealt, because the power and influence of the federal government is simply too much for the state government to gain any real headway. The fact is that both camps are mistaken. It is the mentality of trying to just focus on one specific problem that is precisely what those who endorse bigger government want us to subscribe to. What we leave unguarded will be exploited to liberty's detriment. This political game of checkers is a losing proposition. The real answer is found in a multifaceted attack on government and the enemies of a free society at all levels. Political Jui-Jitsu, where big government is attacked from all sides, is a methodology that must be adopted. Getting hit from all sides is much more difficult to defend than an attack on just one fort. With the dire condition of America, we simply cannot afford to leave any bastion of power and authority that implicates the Constitution unguarded. We have the numbers to fight for each one rather effectively. Liberty-minded people are in vast abundance, and their talents and knowledge are endless. Many of us are mingling with those on the federal level on almost a daily basis. Others have constant contact with state authorities, and yet others are pounding away and focused on local government, including city councils and school boards. Why would we dare leave any area undefended without lining up our soldiers? Why would we utilize our abundance of resources in such a way that gives laissez-faire to one or more government arenas, thus allowing the problem to amplify at an accelerated rate? That's a bit like trying to help the injured ringmaster while the elephant continues to stomp your head. Instead of dictating the lone area where certain entities should focus, it only makes sense that we should target our energies on educating those on the front lines about what good government looks like and teach them political strategy and how to articulate the message. As we do this, organized groups must go after those areas that they truly understand and are passionate about. Perhaps a lack of organization is the issue with those who would have us engage in a unilateral attack on this runaway train. We must have an organizational structure that will empower, educate, and lead. It is true that a lack of leadership can maim the freedom fight. A rapid-fire approach is what is needed. After all, we are not living in a time where we can be casual in our approach, where light and transient abuses are being perpetrated by government. No, it's much worse than that. We are on the verge of having to explain, as Ronald Reagan once warned us about, what was it that was more precious than freedom? Let's defend freedom on all fronts.